Conway, can you hear me during this?
Yeah, if you unmute your mic, I can hear you.
I did, yeah. Can you hear me? Okay, so like once the 59 seconds is up, it still never lets me in. So just so you know, like I can see that we're recording right now, but my clock on the screen never ticks down. Like the live stream ticker, it never. So I'm just sitting here waiting, and then when the recording gets to a minute, I think it's go time. And it usually takes another fucking minute.
I know it's got that weird. It's got like 2.
I don't know what you. I just don't know what you see on your end.
I see the live stream starts in, and then it does like its jobber knocker intro, and then it goes.
Okay.
And then
So is your live stream graphic counting down right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, mine's not. It's just saying 59.
Oh, that's interesting. All right. Well, we're starting now. All right.
Oh, there we are. All right. Perfect.
There we are.
Great.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Now we know how to get past. Now we know how to get past that. All
yeah.
right.
You just wait till I start yelling at you, and then you're like, "Oh, we're ready to go." All right.
And unmute the mic before the fucking thing ends. All right.
Welcome everybody
Sitting here
to
on mute.
Jobber Knocker New Japan, episode 6, the real episode 6. I was an idiot and misnumbered last week's episode where we previewed Forbidden Door, but we're no more after tonight. No more AEW talk for the most part. We're only going to be talking about Lance Archer and his G1 Climax performance. Because it's G1 time, baby. It's G1 way to the Wrestle Kingdom. Because G1, it starts Wrestle Kingdom season. I said it last week. I said it 2 weeks ago. I will say it every time. This is my favorite time of year for wrestling in New Japan because it is G1 time. But before we can talk about Forbidden Door and the G1, Dom, besides the dirtbagger on your street, how are we feeling?
Great. Feeling fantastic tonight, Conway. I apologize if we hear a loud revving engine throughout this. There's nothing I can do about it.
All right.
Oh my God.
So, tell me. Let's start. We're kicking it off hot. I want to know what do you think about Forbidden Door as a whole?
To be nice, C+.
Really? C+?
Yeah. Let me put it this way, and I literally after Ospreay and
Cassidy.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. After that, I fell asleep. I missed the 4-way, bro. I fell asleep and I woke up during Mox and Tanahashi. Yeah, like I was just like that second half of the show dragged. The first half was like bang, bang, bang. I was like, oh, we're moving tonight. This is awesome because it was a loaded card. And that match, Ospreay and Cassidy went. It was a good match, and it was everything it should have been. And people are starting now to, and not just Ospreay, but Cassidy, like good. My issue with that is, all right, I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know if I'm
No. I want to know what your issue is.
So here's the thing, like the hidden blade, right? Is that his finisher?
Yeah,
what it's called. And I'm not big on this. Like I really usually don't care one way or another if someone kicks out of a finisher. My issue is doing it in a spot like this with Cassidy doing it. It's never gonna elevate him any more than what he is right now. That didn't do anything for him. Like I'm okay with it happening if it's gonna elevate the person and move them up or do something for them. Orange Cassidy is gonna be this for the rest of his fucking career, and I just didn't like that move. I thought Will Ospreay was mishandled completely. Even when Shibata came out. Yep. When Shibata came out, it was like, okay, yeah, cool. I barely know who this guy is, only through like watching a Sam Roberts podcast with the Cody one time. He was like raving about him, and I don't think I've ever seen him work. And it was, I don't know, like Ospreay retreated. Did he get beat down a little too? Did they beat him down?
No.
Did he take a beating after that?
So. No.
I just didn't like the way he looked from Cassidy breaking out of the hidden thing and then the hidden blade and then Shibata showing up. I didn't like any of that for Ospreay, but the match was fucking awesome. Can't take anything away from the match.
So I feel like, and I'm probably wrong because again, I think I might have said this to you last week, but I don't remember. But I shut my phone off from Twitter because I didn't want to see what the Jobber Knocker guys are saying. Because the thing is like, and you and I mostly agree on stuff, and
Mhm.
there's stuff with the Jobber Knocker chat that like I agree with a lot, but like I was so I don't love it. I didn't love Forbidden Door as much as a lot of people did,
So
but
it's
I
getting good
love
reviews. I
I
haven't looked into it like at all. I woke up, saw the finish of Moxley and Tanahashi, hated that, was fucking pissed, even though everyone warned me that's how it's gonna go, Dommy. Like, you're out of your mind thinking Tanahashi's walking out with that belt, and everyone was fucking right. So I was
right.
pissed off. And then I haven't looked at anything since. The only good thing to come out of that was FTR walking away with the New Japan titles. So at least we know somewhat we are still in business here, and there's still going to be stuff moving forward. And hopefully we get to these matches that can happen eventually. That's all I want, man. I just want fun matches. I want to see that shit. I don't want to see it
Okay,
done the
but
way it was done here. Like, I just want to
okay,
see fun
so
matches and
outside
dream match. Like, I want to see that.
outside of the pre-show, and even the pre-show to some degree, the Max Caster rap was amazing as usual. That guy knocks it out of the park every
Mm.
time. The it this pay-per-view delivered. I don't understand. I won't lie. The only match I didn't watch was Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm because it was the match I was least interested in. I don't care for either
Shocked me.
competitor. I took a shower.
Watch
I'm
it.
not even joking. I took a shower.
You should go watch it because it was the match of the night for me.
I
It was
can't.
fucking awesome.
I have to watch that now because I don't understand why you say that. Because here's the thing: looking at this card, like I think the four-way for the All Atlantic Championship over delivered. I really do, especially with Miro not walking out with that championship. That match over
Did not
delivered.
surprise me.
Um,
I had Pac the whole way.
um, I was upset with Roppongi Vice, or excuse me, with FTR taking the belts because in my head I wanted FTR to lose here, United Empire to retain, and I wanted FTR to go into the World Tag League, win the World Tag League, and then set up the match for Wrestle Kingdom. Now,
So
if
they can still be in that, right? They don't. Okay.
yes, technically they can still be in the World
Them
Tag League.
having the titles might open the door for this.
Right, but now my hope is United Empire wins the World Tag League, and then we get the rematch at Wrestle Kingdom, which I will be 100% okay with.
Okay. Real
So
quick before we get, I had an issue with Dax getting hurt early.
I
I hated that.
I don't I it feels like, and it's not every
F,
FTR match, but it feels like
I
that's a
understand that.
story they kind of rely on to some degree. Is one of us will get hurt, and then that's the sympathy we'll get throughout the match, and then whatever.
Okay, I
now
just don't. I
now
don't like
after
them needing sympathy. Okay.
the
Good.
show, he posted a picture saying he had a separated shoulder. So if that's not a work, fine. But
Okay.
I understand why it's frustrating. The Claudio Castagnoli versus Zack Sabre Jr. match was not as good as I wanted it to be, but that's because I wanted nothing but technical wrestling. I wanted no showiness. I wanted just like just old school European wrestling,
Yeah.
and it comes out with Claudio hitting a European into the neuralizer into a kick out at 2. Like I was like, oh, I'm fine with a hot start, but it wasn't what I wanted
That's
or
right. That was
expected from
outside
Zack
there.
Sabre Jr. and Claudio Castagnoli. Now,
Okay.
I'm fine with Claudio return or going to AEW. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I just hope he gets used right. And in my opinion, the good use of Claudio Castagnoli is a heel Claudio Castagnoli, because I am a huge fan of Chikara and I am a huge fan of his BDK run in Chikara.
Okay, I know nothing about that. So
That's fine.
thank you for bringing that.
It's
No, I'm
packed
saying thank you
away.
for bringing my attention.
It's packed away in 2000, I don't know, 12 to 15 era Chikara.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
um, so, um, Clark Connors, that man showed up. he's low key the MVP for Forbidden Door because like he in the NBA they have the sixth man award, which
Yeah,
is the person
I
that
like
comes
that.
off
I
the
like this
bench
comparison.
and
Yeah,
performs very well.
I love that comparison for him in that match.
Clark Connors wins the six man award for Forbidden Door because
Yeah,
he did not have to show up. He did not have to overperform. He needed to just be there to take the pinfall. I don't even think he took the pinfall.
he
Did he?
did. He
He
did. They
did.
got
Okay.
to him at the end. There was two guys on the ground, and he hit both of them, and he moved. I forget who it
He
was. It
moved
must have been
Malachi and pinned Connors. That's
Miro.
what it was.
He moved Malachi out of the way, and once he did that, I'm like, "There's the finish," because
But
he actually rolled him out of the way and grabbed Connors to pin him. I was like, "Holy shit!"
but he showed up. He didn't look like a last second
Oh
throw
yeah,
in. He did not look like a jobber. He looked like someone who belonged in that match, and that's what that made me so happy to see that out of him. And I want to be
he
also
seems
clear.
like he has that grit.
I also want to be clear. I don't care anything that happens to Clock Connors after this. He did not make me a
Oh yeah,
fan of
no,
his,
yeah, it's
but
perfect fun.
but
But
he did a very good job at Forbidden Door. Um,
gotcha.
the
He made the
four-way.
best of his opportunity.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The
Yeah, I like
four-way
that.
I thought was
Still haven't seen a clip of it.
I was very happy with the four-way. I knew the finish wasn't planned, but I think that's the finish that was going to happen anyways. What I mean by that is I
Okay.
don't think the match was supposed to end there, but I think it was supposed to end with Jay White pinning Adam Cole.
Okay.
I think that's what was supposed to be the finish. But at the same time, they went 21 minutes. They were the longest match on the card, and so they probably were going to go another 2 to 3 minutes, so if it ends there, fine. At the same time though, neither Hangman Page nor Okada went to go break it up. So I don't know what was supposed to happen there.
Okay.
When it comes to Moxley and Tanahashi, I saw people on Twitter calling it match of the year, match of the night, all this other stuff, and I was just like, no, you can think that, but you're wrong. It's okay.
These are people that just started watching wrestling, and then when they just started watching wrestling in 2019, and there's nothing wrong with this. In 2019, when AEW came about, like these are new beginners. People that are saying this are just beginning to watch wrestling under the AEW umbrella. That's the only thing I can come up with for someone to say something like that. Like,
So
there's no excuse.
I don't think
to
the
say that.
match was
It's fucking
bad.
zero.
I think this is the most true Tanahashi we've gotten in AEW, to be completely honest. I think this is the most he felt like Tanahashi.
Okay.
But
I enjoy Moxley the most when he's working Japan. Anyone from Japan, in Japan,
yeah,
Japan style,
100%.
there's something different about him. So
100%.
his best matches come from all of that. So yeah, I can see it being a great Moxley match, but
it wasn't a great time. It wasn't even top 20 Tanahashi matches. I am fine and I can sleep with Moxley winning because I think Tony Khan was too scared to give Tanahashi the belt. I think New Japan was fine. I think New Japan was fine either way with that result.
Seems like it.
I thought they would be fine if they would set it up so Tanahashi could be there every week. I think that at the same time they were like, we don't. If Moxley wins, fine. It's no skin off our back. So I don't think New Japan had any invested interest. When it comes to Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay, that was my match of the night. I think it was the best match on the card. I think that you rectified the mishandling of Will Ospreay the previous weeks. And I think that I understand what you're saying about Cassidy kicking out of the hidden blade.
Which again, I'm not
elevate him. I
elevate
understand that.
him. I'm okay
Right.
with someone kicking out of a finisher, but when you're going to be the same guy for the rest of your career, which he is, I fucking hate it.
Right. So at the same time, though, the Orange Cassidy the AEW Orange Cassidy is different from independent Cassidy.
This is what I've heard.
So we have more life, more fight, more wrestling out of AEW Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying we're going to get a huge character shift after this with Orange Cassidy. But what I'm saying is that we found out that Orange Cassidy can wrestle New Japan style, because that's the match Ospreay had and wanted to have. This was, to me, the only New Japan style match on the card. The
Okay.
way it was presented, the way it was wrestled, from bell to bell. This felt very New Japan to me, and that's all on Ospreay. It was all on Cassidy to match that, because if he doesn't, then he looks bad, Ospreay looks bad. This becomes one of the worst matches on the card. So for me, Orange Cassidy kicking out of this of the Hidden Blade was fine. I'm so glad he used the Stormbreaker to win the match. I love that move so much.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing too, Orange Cassidy kicking out of the Hidden Blade had me sucked in so badly. I was so invested in this match as a fan that when Cassidy kicks out of the Hidden Blade, I jumped out of my seat. I jumped off the futon. Like, it was
Yeah,
a
as you should
crazy
have,
moment.
right?
Right. Now for the
Because it actually
match,
gave me a little like, oh, right. Okay.
yeah, no. It made,
gave you a little bit like, this might happen. They might go with them here. Right.
they might go with Cassidy. Yeah, it totally said to me, well,
Right.
Cassidy might have this. As for the post match stuff, I don't think. Okay, I understand not knowing, the casual fan of AEW not knowing who Katsuyori Shibata is. For me, as you saw the reaction, Katsuyori Shibata is a big deal. He currently holds.
I understand that.
Sorry, what?
I said no. I understand that. Like, even by the reaction, I was like, "Damn!" Like, everyone knows who this dude is. Like,
right.
And I said, if it wasn't for that Sam Roberts interview, I would have been texting you like, "Who?
Right.
Like, who the fuck is this?"
Right. Which is fine. I understand that. Katsuyori Shibata.
But I feel like I should know that. Like, so that was kind of surprising to me. Anyway, again,
Katsuyori Shibata has my top New Japan match of all time right now. It is Katsuyori Shibata versus Kazuchika Okada from Sakura Genesis 2017. That match ended Katsuyori Shibata's career up until last Wrestle Kingdom. Katsuyori Shibata was known for headbutts, stiff kicks, all that stuff. The typical Japanese strong style. He gave Okada such a severe headbutt. I'm going to pronounce this wrong because I can't pronounce anything. And gave Shibata a Hibitoben in his head that stopped him from wrestling, because one bad headbutt or bump or whatever the situation was, and I think it was paralyzed or something. Like, it was that
holy
severe.
shit.
So Katsuyori Shibata retires from the ring, and then when New Japan opens up the LA dojo, they send Katsuyori Shibata over there, and he is the head trainer of that dojo. So anybody you see come out of that dojo, Clark Connors, DKC, Alice Coughlin, to some degree Tom Lawler, to some degree Hakaleo, anybody from the LA Strong dojo was trained by Katsuyori Shibata. The other thing that people have to understand with Katsuyori Shibata is that, I've said this before, that when you first start off with New Japan, you're wearing all black, you have a basic moveset, you're a young line, you get nothing, right? No personality. Mm-hmm. Shibata graduated and still stuck in those trunks.
Okay.
His tagline is the wrestler. He's the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
He was one of the 4 pillars of New Japan in the new era of New Japan. It was him, Tanahashi,
Okada and Ibushi.
Nakamura, and Goto, I believe. I
Oh,
could
wow.
have that 4 wrong, but but he was like gonna be the next wave of top talent in New Japan. And I forget the reason,
Okay.
probably just young and dumb, and went and left. And
Wow.
comes back to much fanfare and absolutely destroys it. Katsuyori Shibata, if it wasn't for the injury, would be a household name in New Japan, would have been on this card, would probably be a 1 to 2 time world heavyweight champion. Like, Katsuyori Shibata is a big deal and is a tremendously great wrestler
And you
whose
said it's
career
him and
was cut
Okada
short
from
by
2017.
Yep, Sakura Genesis for the
So him and Okada.
IWGP title. It was after Shibata won the New Japan Cup.
Okay. Let's see if I can look it up. It might be on the Best Belt collection.
So, like, the other thing too is I felt like Shibata wanted to like have a stare down with Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy's like, no, this is my shtick time. You know what I mean? And I wish Shibata played along with Cassidy. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would have, because Katsuyori Shibata's thing is he's like CM Punk. He sits in the middle of the ring with his arms folded like this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I would have loved Shibata seated like his pose with sunglasses on, with Orange Cassidy behind him with the thumb. That would have been a wallpaper. That would have been perfect for me. Overall, this card to me is a solid B plus. Okay. I if I watch it again, I might bump it up, but like, I understand. So I understand you saying like the first half went by, but like the main card, the shortest match was the women's match at 10 minutes and 42 seconds.
Wow.
Like,
well, they squeezed every fucking second out of it then.
The 6-man tag went 18:58. The triple threat tag match went 16:19. The 4-way went 15:10. The Bullet Club versus Sting match was almost 13 minutes flat. Women's match went 10:42. Ospreay Cassidy went 16:43. Zack Sabre Jr. and Cassidy.
That felt so much longer. I would have guessed they got 20 minutes. It felt like it wasn't going to end.
Yeah. See, to me, the match that went too long was Castagnoli versus Zack Sabre Jr. They went 18:26.
Wow.
The 4-way went 21:05.
I must have checked out of that one at some point then too.
And Moxley versus Tanahashi went 18:14. And I will say the 4-way did not feel 20 minutes. I don't think it didn't feel 20 minutes at all. And that's great. I'm so happy about that. I'm going
to have to hunt down the 4-way and sit down and really watch it, because
I think
it sounded like it was a little bit of a mess though.
I don't think so. I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was that much of a mess. So, like I said, I turned my Twitter off because I didn't want to get upset by what I was seeing on there, and the same.
Well, thing I mean, that's just Twitter, though. Like, I get that.
No, well, it's even like I've said before, it was even the Jobber Knocker chat.
But that's them trying to rile us up. Like,
I know it is, and it's the same reason.
And I love that. I'm okay with that.
We do it to each other.
Right. I'm okay with that. Like, fire me up. But I guess I didn't care about. Here's the thing. Like, I see what you're saying, because if I was really into a match or a show, I would probably do the same thing, because I wouldn't allow myself to get baited like that. Right. So yeah, I know what you mean. Forbidden Door, I didn't like. I was okay with kind of trashing this one. So even if I saw something I didn't like, I'd be like, yeah, maybe they're not too, like they're not going to get me tonight. But I know what you're talking about.
They were totally going to get me that night. Totally.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. That
it's the same thing with. There are times like last night with Blood and Guts. I really liked the Blood and Guts match. I understand it felt too long, but I think that's the nature of the match because it's timed entries and whatever. I understand people's complaints about it. I enjoyed it. So
tough match to do on TV with the time that was given. And I don't know shit about TV or anything, but I know I have watched matches where in wrestling where they know they're going to have this allotted time for a big show at the end and say limited time breaks, minimal commercials, whatever the shit they spew. And that match started at what, 9:15? I think the bell rang.
Entrances, yeah.
Okay, so I was like, wow, 45 minutes, and I get it. Like, I think there was like 4 commercial breaks in between. It did not flow for me, and it wasn't the match itself. The breakups of the commercials absolutely killed me. And the TV time, yes, I think maybe if I could have watched it more in a progressive, flow, but shit, I don't know. It killed me. And then just to get to, and then to just all of that to get to Kingston and Cesaro kind of just giving each other a side eye on top of the cage. What?
Okay, so
you could have got to that like in any way you ever wanted. You're gonna do it in a War Games match, like a War Games match. When you see that, Conway, like I'm here for something big tonight. Like that is a fucking spectacle. You don't drop a cage around 2 rings for that to be the payoff. Maybe it's the old school in me, but Jesus Christ.
No, so the thing is that like this is another situation of I'm defending niche booking. Okay.
What does that mean?
So Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli stems from before Castagnoli went to WWE in Chikara.
And I had no idea, but I don't know anything about Eddie Kingston before NWA Power. So shame on me.
But no shame on you. That's what I'm saying. Is that because Eddie Kingston does not like Claudio Castagnoli, and he doesn't like Chris Hero, and he doesn't like this person or that person, that's what AEW's booking right now. You know what I mean? They're not.
Did they explain that to us at any point?
No, they just went, well, there's a big history between them, and they don't like each other, and it's just like, cool. What is that history? There was no.
I saw a picture of them posted, and I had no
Eddie
idea.
Being
yes.
Eddie, right? It's Eddie being Eddie, Eddie not liking somebody, and then Moxley being the middleman, and the person's just like, I have no problem. Now, they squashed that.
Which I don't like out of Moxley
happened.
at all. Okay.
Eddie Kingston and Claudio were kind of face to face, and then they fist bump like, we'll put it off. Eddie Kingston went up to Claudio and went, it's off tonight. Let's go. You know what I mean? Which I said while watching, I was like, wow, good for you, Eddie. Big on you. I'm happy for you. So for those of us who knew the history, and then to have the top of the cage, have the submission, Jericho in the stretch plum,
when they went to the top of the cage,
Menard in the sharpshooter, and then to have Menard tap out, Jericho doesn't, and Eddie's upset with Claudio because he feels Claudio stole his moment, blah, 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 only to Eddie be like, fine, whatever. I understand why it's not that. Right. I understand why people are saying that.
So not for
was
me.
It better than last year's though?
No, was that the one with MJF at the top of the cage?
Yes, and then
the finish that was
right. But then Jericho falls off the cage through a bunch of cardboard, and all I'm hearing for the next 3 weeks is, "Oh, why they do blood and guts only to have them fall through cardboard?" Blah blah blah. It's like,
okay. See, I was in the opposite camp of that. Even though that looked like shit, and now that you say it, as soon as you said that, my first memory, the first thing that's popped in my head was MJF at the top of the cage with his first major shot, his first major moment of his career. And even though the secondary was, they kind of blew the spot with Jericho at the bottom, but I didn't remember that when you just said it. So for me, like, holy shit. I was completely expecting Eddie to do that and go completely fucking off, lose his mind, and throw everyone off the top of the cage. Like
I would have loved
something.
it. Dude, when he
That's what I'm like.
when he
I'm
walked
like,
in the
he's gonna
cage, it was
he's gonna launch
Darth
everyone
Vader
off the top of the
people.
cage.
I loved it.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So
I'm like, he's gonna lose
here's
his
the thing
mind.
is just
And
like, is it?
but
I
then
understand being upset and I understand not liking an ending, and I'm fine with that. Have your own opinion. I don't really care. But what I'm saying is was it really a bad ending, or was it
for
just
me,
fickle fans? And
maybe I'm fickle.
regardless of, we're all fickle. I want to be very clear about that. We're all fickle, okay? But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that I don't know, and I feel like everybody's going to be different when this question gets posed to them. I don't know what would have been a satisfying ending. For me, this was a satisfying ending to the match because we've got a shit ton of blood. We got glass, we got all these weapons, and then I didn't think this was going to be a blow-off match. I didn't think this was going to be the end. So for them to continue these storylines so that people still have something to do, I'm fine with that. To me, I was just glad when they got to the top and I realized it was two different colors because the inner cage was black and then the outer rim was like a silver. I was like, please let nobody go through the top. Like, please God, nobody go through the top. Sammy going off the top was satisfying enough to me. I just feel like
I'm sorry, I don't give a shit about Sammy Guevara.
No,
and I
neither
haven't
do
in a
I.
long time.
No, neither do I.
Like I never got him to begin with. I never bought in on him, and he never did anything to try to sell me.
No.
Like not once, Conway.
No.
And Ty Conti, that's the biggest fucking mistake in this kid's career. Mark my words.
Yep, worst mistake of your life. So to me, I didn't want anybody to go up on the top. I would have been happy if nobody went to the top. I understand the felt of the need to go on top, but if nobody went to the top, I would have been fine with that. I will say though, my favorite image probably from that match is, I forget who it was. It was one of 3.0. I think it was Scott Parker, where he's hanging upside down out of the side beam.
He was like, fucking awesome.
I was like, when did that happen? He's just
for as much as I shit on those kids, he was.
Oh my God.
Talk about like an MVP of a match. Like he had one of the most, that whole chase, like just working everyone, having everyone chasing their fucking tails. I was like, this is awesome. Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah,
definitely. He was so good at that in that spot. Yeah. At that point, I was locked into the match, and that's crazy to me. That of all the talent in the ring, he was the one that drew me in.
Oh, you gotta watch 2.0 promos, man. From Chikara, watch 2.0 promos. I gotta.
Okay.
They're so funny. Especially
no, I like them when they do that shit. Yeah.
Especially 2.0 and El Generico. It's just so funny.
Okay.
2.0 lay. All right. But now to get to the meat and potatoes of today's episode, we're in G1 season, baby. We're gonna talk about the G1. Now, because there's such a delay between now and the G1, because the G1 starts
about 2 weeks.
2 weeks from Saturday. The weekend of the 16th, that's when the G1 starts. We are going to split the G1 preview into 2 episodes. Tonight we are going to cover blocks A and B, and then next week we will cover C and D, and there are going to be some road to G1 shows in the between. The return of Kushida to a New Japan ring for the first time in 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure. He's coming back in some 6-man tags. Nothing significant. His first match back it's a 6-man tag. It is Hiroshi Tanahashi, Alex Zane, and Kushida taking on Gedo, Taichi Ishimori, and Kenta. So that is Kushida's first match back. No big shows really on the road to G1 Climax. A lot of the LA Dojo guys are showing up. And we have, like I said, we have Alex Zane over there as well. I don't think Zane's on. Oh, Zane might be on all 3 shows. Yeah, he's on all 3 shows. Cool. So good for him, getting some time over there.
Awesome.
Happy to see that. Very happy to see that.
Big 2022 for Alex Zane, and probably a bigger 2023. So, speaking of
No,
that, he's on my fucking TV. He's on
he's
my
on
TV right now
2
versus Ace Austin.
Yeah, that was I gotta watch that match later.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking good so far.
Yeah. Okay. No, he is. He's teaming with Ishimori and Okada the third night. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think he's gonna be he might be a member of Chaos at some point.
Sick.
But yeah. So we got 3 Road to G1 shows taking place.
And those are going to be on
New Japan World.
New Japan World. Okay.
Yep. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then we have a New Japan Strong on the 9th, and then it's G1 season, baby. G1 season now.
Wow. So that's all this weekend. Those shows then they're not spreading them out. They're banging them out 3, 4, 5.
Sunday,
beautiful.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yep.
So this weekend is fucking stacked. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So A block, B block. Let me get rid of C block. Okay. So in A block, we have Lance Archer representing AEW. We have Jonah, Toru Yano, Kazuchika Okada, former New Japan Strong champion Tom Lawler.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb and Bad Luck Fale.
Wow, that's awesome.
This is a stack card. This is every block. I want to be clear. Every block is stacked, in my opinion.
It really is.
But this is one of the most interesting one, and the one with the most first time matchups.
When they were rattling off the participants at Dominion, I was like, is it just me or is it not stopping? Like,
I know.
Everyone that came up, I was like, this is fucking nuts. Like,
yeah. So this year's format is going to be the winner of Block A and Block B will face off, and the winner of Block C and Block D will face off, and the winners of those 2 matchups will compete in the G1 finals. So whoever's the top point getter.
I see. The 7th. That's August 7th, and that's August 17th, 18th. So this is a full month of a tournament.
This is a month affair. This is why a lot of people say the G1 is the most grueling tournament in all of wrestling.
And I like how they do that. We don't know who the finals are going to be, and they actually have a semifinals into a finals.
Yeah.
So it's a final. It's a Final Four. It's like if you're an NCAA fan, it's a Final Four type format.
Yeah. No, it is.
That's awesome. That's fucking sick.
So for the first block, for A block, our first time matchups are Archer's. So Archer for the first time is taking on. Actually, hold on. I want to make this easier on myself. So Jonah and Tom Lawler, everybody in the block except for Jeff Cobb is a first-time matchup.
Okay.
So for Jonah and Lawler, Archer, Fale, Yano, and Okada are first-time matchups and each other.
Great.
Cobb's first one is having a first-time one-on-one with Bad Luck Fale. And that's really the only unique one outside of Jonah's first time. Jonah and Lawler's first-time matchup with everybody.
Okay.
So when I look at this block, for me, this is the block I'm most excited about because there's so many unknowns in this block. Because when you look at the block, like the
you're an Archer guy.
I am. Yes, I am an Archer guy.
What's your thoughts on Tom Lawler?
See.
Oh shit! Sorry.
I don't have thoughts on Tom Lawler. I really don't.
Fucking weird, right?
The first time I saw him was what was the New Japan show they did earlier this year? Collision. It was the 4-way
Capital Collision.
Capital Collision. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the first time I watched Tom Lawler. He is the top bad guy in New Japan Strong. He just lost his belt to Fred Rosser.
I saw that.
Which I'm kind of surprised they didn't give a shot in the G1 to Rosser. I was actually I was low-key excited to see him because him and Lawler have been doing a lot of work over in New Japan Strong. So I thought they were going to reward Rosser this way. But I mean, I don't know really who you would take out of the G1 to
To
give
add
Rosser
Rosser.
a shot. So I'm not upset with
Add
it.
like
I kind of
Foley.
just hope they give it to him. See, the thing is like, yeah, you like Toru Yano, Bad Luck Fale, Hanare maybe, Yoshihashi maybe, Yujiro, but at the same time, like, do you pull those guys who you can make the case are going to be the lowest point getters and put your New Japan Strong champion on there, and now you're
Risk
kind of
making
putting
him look a
yourself
little
in a
weak.
corner.
Painting yourself in the corner, yeah.
Yeah, where you do we want to give him a lot of points or do we want to not? You know what I mean? So
That makes sense. I see what you're
I
saying. If he
understand
already
why
has
they
the
didn't.
title, he doesn't really need to be in the tournament. Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, I kind of wish they did because you have other champions in this tournament. Um, you have Jay White, who's your world champion right now. As it currently stands, you have Kenta you have Evil and Yujiro as your never open weight 6-man tag. Excuse me. So, like, I understand, and you have Ospreay as your United States champion.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's champions in here, but I understand why keeping them out. Looking at Block A, what matchups are you looking forward to?
So, all these guys face each other. I guess. Let's see. We got right off the rip the first day. Okada versus Jeff Cobb. Anything with Jeff Cobb, 100% in. Let alone giving me him versus Okada on the first day.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, that is one of the two probably best matchups you'll get at it. That could be on day
Okay.
one.
I mean, I know when I'm a sucker for guys, I kind of overrate them, but I feel like that one's fucking crazy. Let's see, and then there was the other A block, Yano and Jonah. I don't know anything about Yano. I mean, I remember him from the tournament,
so
but
Yano, I'm hoping Yano. Here's the fun thing about Yano in this block is this block is full of killers, absolute killers. Yano is not a killer anymore. He was not anymore. He's more of a comedy guy. So I'm very interested to see not how Yano works with the killers, how the killers work with Yano, because you don't have to match. Yano doesn't have to work your style of match. You have to work Yano's.
Okay.
Because Yano's gonna do everything he can to make you look like a fool and still somehow win the match. So
I got you. I see what you're saying.
So Yano is going to be. I wish this wasn't your first experience to Yano because I don't know if you'll get it.
He was in the Best of Super Juniors though, wasn't he? Was he not?
Toru Yano,
no, he wasn't. Then I've seen him somewhere. I've watched
really
him at some point.
Okay. I'm interested in, like, I know we just said we have no opinion of him, but I'm interested in Tom Lawler versus Okada.
Because I was looking at something else with him in it, but yeah, go ahead.
So when it comes to that, I'm always interested to see how people do against Okada, because I feel like Okada is very generous and will let you get your stuff in, but you've got to be able to work an Okada match for that to happen. And I feel like Tom Lawler can. I don't know how well he's going to do in Japan. I don't know if he's going to translate well to Japan.
See, I'm interested in him and your boy Archer on the 26th.
Oh, that's just going to be a slug. I think
it's going to be a fucking war.
I think Lawler's a match with Lawler in it is going to be a slugfest.
Yeah,
and that's right up Archer's alley.
I think so too.
I'd expect Weapons to get involved in that match.
Okay. Wait, can they do that? Just like without a DQ? Like, how does that work? Turn a blind eye. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's referee discretion in Japan. Like, if it's outside the ring, for the most part, they'll stop you. Or they'll let it slide.
That happened during the tournament a lot.
It really depends. It's referee discretion, really.
Okay.
So, like, I feel like Yano, Fale, and Lawler are going to be at the bottom of the block. Archer, Cobb, Jonah
I think
are
that's a
going to
fair
be in the
assessment.
middle. Huh?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Like, I'm worried for Archer. Like, I always want just like you just said, you always like overrate your favorites. And like, I don't think Archer's going to win this block, but I want him to like top 3. I want him to get like, there's 7 people in here. So if you win all your matchups, that's a max points of 12 because each win is 2. So I like if Archer gets 8 to 10 points, I'll be happy. Because I think that can in some weird. I think if you can, I don't know if anybody's going to go undefeated in any block. But I think 10 points can get you 8 to 10 points will win you a block. And then you're just down to tiebreakers there. But I mean, I have Okada winning the block. I have Jeff Cobb and Archer as my sleepers. Jonah is the long shot, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Jonah's. I mean, Jonah's just a fucking lesser Cobb. Like, he's good. But if you have Jeff Cobb, like, why do you need Jonah? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I am happy they're in the same block, though. I will say.
Yeah. They're going to match up for like the 18th
that
time
match
already.
is going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, because they have worked together a lot already, so they should bang. I agree. But it's so cool to see, like, Okada, and I know we know we're going to get him, but to see big names like Jay White, Okada, Zack Sabre, and Ospreay. Holy shit! Like, these are the biggest names, and they're working a tournament, like a grueling tournament. You don't get this in WWE. Could you imagine, like,
you don't get this in
Roman Reigns? Could you imagine Roman Reigns being in the King of the Ring on one night?
WWE will never do that because
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
him.
why this is so cool to me. Like, they let their guys go. They take their big stars and they make them workhorses, and that's such a cool concept to me, and something WWE has so gotten away from, and I wish they would give it to us a little more.
But that's the thing, is like, that's the other thing. That's one of the reasons I like New Japan a lot more than WWE, is because you have your hierarchy of stars, like every company ever,
right?
But at the same time,
you allow them to be in big spots.
Nobody is above the company or anything involving the company.
The best way, exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you.
Yeah. Roman Reigns is above, in WWE eyes, in my opinion.
He's protected.
Roman Reigns is above the King of the Ring, the Royal Rumble. He's above Survivor Series, but he's there for a storyline, like the match, the Survivor Series match. It doesn't feel like anything in WWE outside of the title is sacred.
And I get it, and that's been their formula. It's not like this is a new thing, and that's been their formula for a long time. Once they get their top guy, they protect him, and they don't overwork him, and it's worked for them. So, again, this isn't me WWE bashing. I just wish every once in a great while they would say, hey, let's – I know, I'm always like, as much as I dislike some of the shit they do now, I will always have a soft spot for them. So I just wish they would take a page out of this tournament and just do something once. Like, give me fucking Reigns in a one-night tournament. Just beat the shit out of 4 guys. But like Savage at 4. Like, that's fucking awesome.
Right, but that's over him. That's beneath him.
I know.
Because, like, the thing is like, if you look at the history of the G1, just to go through it, like, quickly, like, this tournament through the years, it was originally the World League, and then the MSG League, and then the IWGP League, and then it morphed into the G1. But like, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, the founder of New Japan, Antonio Inoki, Masahiro Chono, Riki Choshu, the Great Muta, Yuji Nagata, Hiroshi Tenzan, Kojima, Nakamura, Naito, Okada, Tanahashi, Omega. Those are all former winners of this tournament.
Jeez.
So, like,
that's holy shit. Colin, like, the names you just spit out, fucking.
I know. Like,
wow.
And like, but the thing is just like there's nothing like that. Like
No.
WWE's like, oh, the King of the Ring, this prestigious tournament, blah blah blah. It hasn't been like that since the 90s.
And they made a joke out of it. Yep.
Like,
I agree.
I don't. There's nothing, and like the only thing WWE, in my opinion, has that is as prestigious as the G1 is the Royal Rumble, and that's because of what it, and that's solely off what it means. It's not. The Royal Rumble is a grueling match. Okay, some people are in there for an hour plus.
Well, that's what I was say. It's limited to giving one or two performers the spotlight. That's the issue with the Royal Rumble, or at least the way they've been doing lately. Like, you can't get. Look at how many people we have that can make a name for themselves in this tournament. You know, with the Royal Rumble, you have 30 guys. Everyone can. With the Royal Rumble, yeah, you have 30 guys that could really make a name for themselves. But let's be honest, it's usually 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Right? And that's being,
right.
And I was going to say 4 to 6 is being generous. The sweet spot's 3 or 4, where 3 or 4 guys that you already know are going to deliver for you. Like, there's no surprises there. Like, and I love the Royal Rumble. It's my fucking favorite event of the whole year.
Here's the other thing too. Since the G1 started in 1991, like when it was actually the G1, okay? Not the previous iterations. When it was actually the G1, okay?
Mm-hmm.
With all the talent that has come over to New Japan for tours, not just one, not just a here and there, has come over multiple times. These are former IWGP champions like Vader, Bob Sapp.
I don't even know who that is.
Carl Anderson. Prince Albert. If you remember him from WWE, he was a huge star.
I heard he fucking was balls in Japan. Yeah, I've never seen any of his stuff from there, but like, I've only heard rave reviews.
If you just go through the list of people who have held the IWGP title, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Scott Norton. I'll give you just to prove my point, Jay White, who's the best wrestler in the world right now. Like, if you look at everybody, all the people from outside of Japan to come to New Japan that have held the New Japan title, we call those gaijins, okay? A foreigner to New Japan is called a gaijin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many gaijins have won the G1 Climax?
No.
Take a guess.
Of how many, like, foreign people that come over from the States, you're saying?
Yes. Or Europe.
Okay.
Have won the G1 Climax.
2.
Too high.
0.
Too low.
1.
One person. Do you know who that was?
Jay White?
Nope.
Ospreay?
Nope. Ospreay's winning it this year, baby.
Oh, that's right. You said that. He won something before. It doesn't matter.
He won the
Super Juniors, and the
he won
Japan
the Super
Cup.
Juniors and the G1 Cup, or the New Japan Cup.
I have not.
Omega. Kenny Omega is the only gaijin to win the G1 Climax. He won it in 2016. He defeated former G1 Climax winner in 2008, Hiroki Goto. The same Goto, by the way, who I'm kind of like, I very much like. Goto has grown on me, but he's like now this like mid-card guy, and it's a little bit upsetting to me. But he kind of, with Goto, real quick, he had his window and it closed, and it's just never gonna open again.
Never gonna open. It's like Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, Dolph Ziggler won a title. Hiroki Goto had 8 tries and lost every single time. But like, just going like, I think honestly, I think it's Ospreay, Jay White, or Okada this year.
Mm.
And the only reason I don't think Jay White's going to win is because he's IWGP champion right now. So, but like
So
Jay
who do you
White
like coming out? Who do you like coming out of the A block?
right now, I think it's either to come out of the A block. And thank you for bringing us back on trail because I was getting further and further away from camp. It's either Okada or
It's
Cobb.
weird because I like hearing you talk. Like I want to know what's coming next. So I'm like, oh shit, we actually it's gonna be who?
Either Okada or Cobb. Again,
Agreed.
I would like Archer, but I think 8 to 10 points is going to win any block.
Okay.
And I think Okada only really loses to maybe Cobb, maybe
Imagine he
Yano.
starts the tournament off with a fucking loss.
Okada doesn't have the don't get me wrong. Okada has won 3 G1 climaxes. He won
Okay.
2012, 2014, and then last year.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have that like great of a G1 record.
They have him in
for
there
a
because he's
three-time winner.
Okada. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
He's not in there to
other
win.
thing
He's
is-
not in there to win. He's in there to be in there.
right.
Does that make sense?
He's there to be in the mix.
Yeah.
But I think I thought this coming out of Dominion, and I felt like this after Forbidden Door. I feel like we're ramping up. I feel like New Japan might be ramping up for an Okada mega run again.
Wait, say that again. Oh, an Okada mega run. Like, you're
Yeah,
gonna.
I like.
Okay.
But
A dominant championship
yeah,
run
I
coming
feel
from
like
Okada.
I feel like New Japan might be afraid for some reason about their future, because I always feel like they are a little bit afraid of their future, and they
Future
always
as
feel
in, what do you mean?
so. The up until the start of Wrestle Kingdom, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever Wrestle Kingdom started, New Japan's history was very rocky. Bad managerial decisions, bad ownership decisions, a whole thing. Like the company almost folded like 4 or 5 separate occasions.
So that's pretty much what I was asking. You think they're afraid of folding when you say that?
I don't think it's folding. I think they might be afraid of losing momentum. And but at the same time, I want to be very clear. I feel like they felt like this since probably 2015. Like
sense.
around there. And I feel like they especially felt it with the formation of AEW and Kenny leaving and the Bucks leaving,
Yeah,
and to some degree
100%.
Cody leaving. So, but I think as long as you have Okada and Jay White, you're never going to fold.
I don't think so. I can't see New Japan. They've been so consistently there, regardless of what they've done for so long and who they've had as stars. Like, you got to remember, over there, this is fucking wild. Like, it's probably bigger over there than it is in the U.S., I would assume, right?
It's WWE over there.
Right.
They're the best company in Japan.
So maybe losing favor in the United States or losing viewers here and just being eyes, like having only eyes in Japan there. I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know. The other thing too is like I feel like to some degree management up until the G1 happens uses that, like from the day after Wrestle Kingdom to a month before the G1. I feel like they don't know what they're doing for Wrestle Kingdom season. They want to see how things play out. They want to see crowd reactions, how crowd takes to people, how the crowd disassociates from people, and what have you, so that they can kind of make the best decisions for the G1 and Wrestle Kingdom. You know what I mean? So, but I always feel like there's a panic going into the G1.
That's wild.
So, and that's just me kind of also a little bit overthinking things to some degree.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I get that.
But
All right.
who do you have coming out of this block?
I'm probably right with you with this. How do you not have it be Okada? I mean, with the names that would be coming up in just the B block alone, but like, yeah, it has to be. Cobb would be it'd be a nice thing for him, but looking ahead to who the rest of the participants in there, I really don't want to see anyone else but Okada have matches with who may be coming out of these blocks, if that makes sense. So I'm going Okada.
Like, right, I understand what you're saying. I this block and C block to me are the two blocks you can kind of. I'd be okay with the favorite not coming out of, if that makes
sense. C block, I totally understand that.
But we'll get to C block next
week. Yeah,
Let's
later. I know. B block. B block, yep.
So we both have Okada coming out of A block.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, okay. B block. We have Taichi. We have Tama Tonga. We have Tomohiro Ishii. We have Jay White. We have Sonata. We have Great Okan. And we have Chase Owens. Now, as we all know, Tomohiro Ishii got pulled from Forbidden Door with a knee injury.
Right.
As of this filming, it's the end of the month for June. Tomohiro Ishii is still in the G1. I fully expect him to be ready for G1. I think
he'll be ready.
Pulling him out of Forbidden Door was precautionary. If anything, I don't think it was so like too. We have to like he's too hurt to compete. I think it was we need him for the G1 more than we need him for Forbidden Door. Let's give it to Clock Corners. It's the same reason that Tetsuya Naito was not on Forbidden Door, because
that's where he got pulled too. He had a fever.
He was never on the card. He was never advertised.
Who? Oh, Takahashi had the fever and couldn't fly the night before.
Yeah. Hiromu couldn't fly.
Yeah.
But Naito was never on the card.
Naito was never on the card
because he's been dealing with injuries. Because Naito's always dealing with injuries. Because as much as people don't want to, Naito fans don't want to admit it, he's a little bit of fragile. He's a little bit of an injury prone. So they want him ready for the G1. Because as much as I hate these words that are about to come out of my mouth, supposedly he's a favorite to win the G1, which I really don't like.
I can see that.
Because Naito's never been somebody I've wanted to see in the Destino. He's never someone I want to see on the top.
His matches are always so good.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah,
right.
Generally,
I love anytime I see him in a match, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be fucking bad.
He's not my cup of tea. I don't want to see him.
Yeah, see, I like him. That's funny.
But anyways, B block. Good. We don't have that many first time matchups.
So you said something last week or 2 weeks ago about Tama Tonga having a big year, and what better way to start that year off than beating Jay White out of the B block, right?
Is that the first time matchup?
No, I don't even know where that is, but
you're just saying in general. Okay,
I'm just saying in general. I don't even know where that is. B block. We get Sonata versus Jay White, night 1.
Okay. See,
and
I see that.
Ishii versus Taichi.
Taichi, yeah. Taichi. So here's the thing about B block. If Tama Tonga had beaten Carl Anderson, I would stick to my guns and say that Tama Tonga is going to have an impressive G1. I think Tama Tonga is going to get 6 points. I think he's going to beat Chase Owens, Ishii, and Taichi. He's going to lose to Jay White, Sonata, and Great Okan. He's going to be middle of the pack. Here's the thing is that, like, I don't know. The only reason I think they could take the belt off Tama Tonga and give it to Carl Anderson is either to pay back Tama Tonga at Wrestle Kingdom or pay him back in the G1. To me, I just think that he's both. Tai Chi's such a wild card.
I mean, for me, it's Jay White. Like, I can't see it not being anyone other than Jay White.
Here's the thing: is that
with everything we've done with him, they've done.
Yeah, Jay White's their best wrestler right now. He's their top bad guy. He's their
not
best
for nothing. He loses this, or at least if he doesn't go to at least the finals, and he has to have some sort of showing where he loses in a big. If he's going to lose in a big way, something has to happen to him. He just can't. He can't lose this tournament flat on his back. Not with everything. Not with the year he's had.
The thing is that he doesn't. I understand what you're saying, but he's as it currently stands, he's in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom regardless of this tournament result. He could go 0 for 6 and walk into the Wrestle Kingdom champion still. So there is nothing to lose for Jay White in this tournament.
So it's someone. Okay.
So if Jay White's not winning this block, which I think he is, I think it's Sonata. Sonata to me is someone just like Tama Tonga, just like there's just like a few other people who, hold on, I want to make my point right. So Sonata, Tama Tonga, Zack Sabre Jr., Goto, to some degree Kenta. I just continue to wait for New Japan to do something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting here going, you have such a great talent with Sonata. The women love Sonata. I want to make that very clear right now.
He's like a rock star.
The women in Japan love Sonata. If you look at
Great
Great-O-Khan's Twitter, the women love him. But
I saw that.
If you watch the film, it's Sonata.
Okay.
So I feel like you could, if Sonata was to win this block,
he's like the HBK of fucking New Japan.
Yeah. I would be fine with Sonata winning this block if it's not Jay White. I think.
Well, when you put it like that, I can see that when he's the.
But the thing is that that's an American way of thinking. I don't think New Japan's going to do that because Jay White's in this block. Jay White's winning this block.
Jay White's winning this block. It's not Jay White. I got Ishii just because I fucking love him, but it's Jay White all day long.
Right, and so it's just one of those things where, like, as unpredictable and as great New Japan can be, it's so predictable sometimes, especially when you've watched it for as long as I have. It just gets to a point. What matches are there? Any matches from this you're looking forward to from this block?
From the B block, that's what I'm looking at right now.
See, I think
Ishii and Tonga. I mean, anything with Ishii, obviously. Great-O-Khan, no thank you. What's Chase Owens' deal? I don't know a lot of these guys in this block. That's my issue, I guess. Jay White's first match is Chase Owens. Is that right?
No, they can't open the block with that.
No, that's not what I was just looking for his first one. They're opening it with. So I'm sorry, Sonata and Jay White. Yeah. Okay,
that's
yeah.
So
Sonata.
That's probably going to be the best match of the block.
So the first night's fucking awesome. Right there, those two right there, and then Ospreay and El Phantasmo.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah, July 16th fucking loaded.
Yeah, it's the kickoff to the G1. They got to.
Wow.
But
so I guess I'm looking forward to day one more than anything else right now.
Well, the thing is like you look for the 3 best nights of the G1 are night 1 and the last 2 nights, like that lead into the finals. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
It's that the thing. I said this to you back with the best of Super Juniors. This is a track, man. Because like every show you're gonna have like 5 or 6 matches that's solely for the G1. There's gonna be matchups you don't want to watch.
That's the thing, right?
So like,
But it's also like for the matches I don't want to like. I'm gonna highlight matches that like aren't even I'm looking at and I'm throwing in the basket right now, and I'm gonna take like one of those a block and be like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to this because I can't just keep not paying attention to people I don't know or don't like. Like I'm not gonna get any fucking further into this shit if I just keep shutting it off unless one of the guys I already know are in there. I guess that's the biggest issue I'm having with New Japan right now. It's like that's on me. I have to pay closer attention to guys that don't have my attention right now. I have to find a way to
so for me, this
walk
block,
into them.
once you get past, so for me, this block shakes out Jay White, Sonata, probably Tamatanga 3, maybe Great Khan 3. I have Taichi and Owens at the bottom, and then Ishii, Tonga, and Great Khan. You can kind of flip flop in the order. I would love to see them give this to Sonata or Tonga. I just don't see. Sonata's really the only one I think that can beat Jay White. Ishii has beaten Jay White before, so
I was going to ask you if they matched up
and
before.
there's an interesting dynamic here with Tama Tonga and Jay White because of the recent Bullet Club history, and same with Chase Owens. So Tama Tonga is kind of looking for revenge because Jay White and Chase Owens kicked him out of the Bullet Club. So,
Okay.
like, it's one of those things where can Tama Tonga conquer Jay White? I don't know. I think he can. I think he has the ability to, but I don't know if New Japan is going to give that win to Tama Tonga. You know what I mean? Because it's weird to me because on one hand, G1 matches kind of don't matter outside of the G1 event.
Okay.
But at the same time, if you look at Jay White versus Kazuchika Okada, 2 of his wins over Okada are in the G1. You know what I mean? So
well,
like,
didn't Kenny snuck in a win against him too one year, right?
yeah, I think so.
In their trilogy, they had there was the trilogy, but there was that fourth match where Kenny finally got like the win. I think it was like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, but you get what I mean.
So they do.
Like,
They'll sneak. But I'm saying like they'll sneak shit in there like that. That's really important, but isn't. It is strange. I know what you're saying.
so it's just like one of those things where like, does I don't know. It's one of those things where like, can you get away? You can get. Here's the other thing or two about the G1. You can get away with wins and losses where other people can't, or not other people. Excuse me. Whereas other times you couldn't. So like you can get away with, um, you can get away with Tamatanga beating Jay White here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
see what you're saying.
not have it be anything more than a feather in the cap of Tamatanga. You can have anybody beat anybody in the G1 and have it not matter.
What's Tai Chi's deal again?
He's a member of Suzuki-gun. He comes out with a half naked chick.
Okay.
Both him
Yes.
and you,
Yep.
but to be fair, him and Yujiro both come out with half naked chicks.
So wait,
But
no, but there's
Taichi
one that they
sings.
really. She's like a geisha girl. Like they were really honed in on her. One of the matches I watched. He comes
Yeah,
out like
that's
the
right.
Phantom of the Opera like
Yeah,
mask
he's
and
singing.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
his production is fucking huge. Then so
Oh yeah, no, he's
see
to
that's
me
a different
Taichi.
difference making to me now that I know who this kid is.
Here's my feeling on Taichi. I feel like if he looked physically better, he would be a bigger deal. Does that
Once
make
he gets
sense?
stripped down, of his
Right.
in ring, his entrance
he's in his
gear and all that shit.
right?
Once he transforms into the ring and everything gets stripped away, that's exactly how I felt watching him. Yeah, he pops through the curtain. You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
And then he
it goes
takes
away.
his entrance gear off, and you're like, oh, some average guy. Okay.
Yep, exactly. There it is.
I don't know. I think, yeah, the B block to me is the least interesting block.
Wow.
Like,
really?
Yeah, because like, so like you look at like we just said,
other than Chase Owens and Great O'Connor, I'm kind of into it.
That's fine. I'm interested to see how they treat Great O'Con, because just like with Ishii, just like with Yano, he's bigger in America. Okay. North America is falling in love with Great O'Con, and it's mostly honestly for social media stuff. It's not even his in-ring stuff.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah, Ospreay said that in an interview that Great O'Con's one of the best business minds he's ever been around.
Makes sense.
But I'm interested to see how they treat O'Con. I really am, because I'm interested to see if they treat him like a tag team wrestler, or if they're gonna treat him like the high mid-card main event guy. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, this block just doesn't
do it for you.
No, because I'm looking at it. I'm like, if I had to have somebody win besides Jay White, I'm giving it to Sonata. But this is gonna sound bad, and I don't mean it to sound as bad as it's gonna sound, but they gave Jay White a fucking easy block. Like, it feels like it's the easy. Like if you put Jay White in the A block, yeah, he probably still wins it, but he wins it off tiebreakers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, I don't think Jay White. Like I said earlier, I don't think anyone's going undefeated in their block. But if I had to pick one person to go undefeated in their block, it's Jay White. Like
yeah,
and it's, I feel bad because like he has. If you look at like Ishii, Sonata, Great O'Con, and Tama Tonga, they're gonna fight you. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking forward to his matchups in this block. Those guys you just said, like,
I just think
White, Ishii, Tonga, and Taichi maybe, but definitely Tama Tonga, Sonata, and Ishii 100%.
I just think like the other blocks have more. You like A and B block have two clear-cut winners, Okada and Jay White.
Right. And then C and D are wide open.
C and D.
Well, not really.
No, not wide open, but there's more.
Not wide open.
C block, you can make a case for 3 people. Excuse me, 3 people.
Yeah.
D block, I can make a case for 2 people.
2. And that's obvious, right?
And so but we're getting Okada versus Jay White in the first half finals. So it's on New Japan to surprise us.
I see what you're saying.
With the success of, just to go back to A block real quick, with the success of Forbidden Door,
yep.
Do you think that helps Archer's chances at all to top or come out of A block?
Not to. Oh, wow. Yeah, how? No, not with Okada in there. If he was in anyone else's block, I'd say he'd have a chance. He comes out of Okada's block, man. I mean, I
This
guess
is
just people. And Jonah's there. Sorry, Cobb. Whew.
like
The only thing AEW did for me with him is let me know that he's the guy. He's who he is in this block. Like, I'm looking at him now, and I'm looking forward to his matches, but I'm not expecting him to come out of it. But I'm definitely interested in every match he's going to be in.
So the thing is like, to an American audience who doesn't know too much about Archer, right? Outside of the Americas, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, they had to send somebody over. He seems like a good fit. If you're a New Japan fan, Archer was the best option for AEW, because here's the thing. He is a current member of the New Japan stable Suzuki-gun. That's why you saw him paired with Minoru Suzuki and El Desperado, who are both members of that stable. He is at least a 3-time IWGP heavyweight tag team champion. So when you look at like AEW's roster, there's probably people you'd rather send over there for like to give them this opportunity.
But I think AEW has done that for me. When I watch AEW, anytime Archer is on the screen, they're talking about how dominant he is in Japan and like what he's done over there. So I already know that. Thanks to I think that's one of the best things they've done for him and for any of their talents, telling you who this guy is elsewhere. Like we just were talking earlier about how they bring these people in. They don't. There's nothing there. We don't know anything about why this shit's going on. Now that I see Archer right there, because of everything I've heard watching AEW programming, I know he's a guy to look at in this block. So I think they've done really well with that.
It's funny to me, and some might say sad, with all the talent on both sides, the best person handled of both companies is Lance Archer.
Yeah, seriously.
Like he's the best blend of both companies.
He really is.
Because
he carries the banner equally well for both of them. Like it's almost like I don't know where he lands.
But it's not even that, but like both companies treat him well in that sense. Like AEW built him up and then used him as what they made him.
Right.
To make him an eye in AEW for when New Japan came over, they go, oh yeah, all these matches that Lance Archer has had in AEW, this stuff he's done in New Japan, 2-time United States champion, 3-time IWGP heavyweight tag team champion. Well, that's also on his resume. He's the most, like, it's so funny to
you're
me.
Right, he is.
And like,
he really
it's
is.
so funny, and like, it makes me happy because, like you said, I'm an Archer fan. How
to see
important he feels to both companies
at
the same time.
100%, Conway. 100%.
I would love for him to walk out of this block, like as a fan of being such a big fan of his.
He comes out of the A block. That's a fucking.
If anyone but Okada comes out of A block,
that's what I'm saying. Archer comes out of this block, like put a fucking strap a rocket ship on him. Like holy shit.
The thing is that this block, I will say this again. B block is an easy block for Jay White. He's gonna win with 10 points and then never look back. The A block is probably gonna be A block is gonna be tiebreakers. There's gonna be 2 or 3 tiebreaker matches. I feel like there's gonna be 2 or 3 tiebreaker matches in this block.
Okay.
Whether that's for the top spot or not is yet to be determined, but I think Okada's on the cusp of being at the point of his career where he has enough prestige and enough to his name where a loss isn't going to hurt him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Too bad, if at all.
And like you said, he's won, 3 of these already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
This is the block to surprise people.
Maybe I am putting a little too much stock into him here.
Nope.
And like I said, it's not him. It's not him. It's how this. It's the names in this tournament. This is where I don't want to see Okada not come out on top. Like, it kind of almost sucks for everyone else in the other block, because if there weren't other names involved, I'd be like, yeah, give someone a shot out of this. But there's some shit I want to see happen here, and it involves him. So now I'm invested in him winning the A block.
Like, this is, to me, A block is the block where Okada, if and when Okada comes out of this block, he's battle tested, he's beaten, battered, you know what I mean? This is the block of pain. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't the block of death, because I think that's D block. No, C block. C block's the block of death. But A block is the block that, like, whoever comes out is like has wrestled.
You earned your stripes.
Right, exactly. You've earned it.
You were in that spot.
I mean? Whereas Jay White is on the lazy river out of B block.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think, and so
yeah, it might be by design too.
It could be 100%.
You know, and once if they meet up at A and B, it's like, who had the tougher road to get here? Let's look. Like, maybe Jay White's a fresh, should be fresher. I don't know. That could play into the whole story. So maybe you're onto something there.
My hope for B block, and I just thought of this, is it comes down to the final day. Jay White's sitting at 8 points and a loss to Sonata. Sonata's sitting at 6 points. Who's Jay White's matchup on the final day? Do you have that?
That's what I pulled it up and you're talking about it. So the final day is August 16th, not counting obviously the semifinals that we don't know about.
Right.
So August 16th, and who do you want? Jay White?
Yeah.
So actually, I'll just run through it for you. A block is Okada versus Archer.
Okay,
just funny, because I can't believe the conversation we just had, and that's
right.
And Jay White has Tama Tonga.
No, I don't need anything else. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Wow.
I was gonna be so disappointed if it wasn't, because what I was going to say was, if Jay White's sitting at 8 points, right, with a loss to Sonata,
okay,
and Tama Tonga walks into the final day, if Sonata beats whoever he's facing, and Tama Tonga beats Jay White, Sonata now launched over Jay White to win the B block.
Okay.
So
it's a spoiler. So he's playing spoiler. Someone's playing spoiler. Is that how you just explained it?
Tama Tonga can spoil Jay White out of this block.
Spoil Jay White. Okay. That's what I said earlier about the only way Jay White doesn't come out of that block is something like that has to happen to him. I can't see him going out flat on his back. So there we are. So there it is. We just booked it. Great.
So, awesome. But that's the thing is, like, but here's the other thing too. That's day one in the final day affecting each other. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Like,
yeah.
So I'm gonna be so amped if Sonata beats Jay White.
Dude.
Like, if that happens, I'm calling myself.
You're right, because Sonata has Jay White day one. Nice job. Way to put that together.
I'm telling you, this is New Japan doesn't even have to hire me. I'll give them that one for free. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand what you're saying about how do you not have Jay White or Okada come out of these blocks? It's not that. Like, it's not gonna. 2 losses aren't gonna kill them. You know what I mean?
And to clarify, like, it's not Jay White not coming out of there. There needs to be a reason why he didn't. With everything that's just the way he's been built up. I can't see him just losing. Like, I just lost the fucking tournament. Like, all the shit he talks, there's gonna have to be some redemption for him to be like, yeah, fuck you. I may have lost, but here's the reason why. There's that cliffhanger or whatever you want to call it. That, like, that's what he needs. I don't ever want to. I can't believe I'm saying this about Jay White, by the way. Like, look what you've done to me. Look at what you fucking done to me. Like, I don't want to see this kid lose the fucking G1 climax, like, on his back.
I had to defend Jay White a few days ago badly. After I'm always defending Jay White. I will be a Jay White defender until he retires.
But he's done a great job. Like,
Here's
jeez.
the other thing too. I know you said you got to watch the 4-way.
Yeah.
Watch the media scrum with Jay White.
Oh, I already did. That I
Hilarious.
saw. Fucking
Absolutely
unreal.
hilarious.
I don't know if you saw it. I put it in the group chat. Like when I sent it out, some of them liked it, some of them like, I don't get it. And I'm like, no. If this kid keeps up this pace and the way he's acting, he's reminding me right now of HBK 96, 97, where it was like, this kid is such a fucking, like, I know Jay White's not a dickhead like that. Like, I know he's not out of control the way HBK was, but the way he's presented himself and how believable he is to drop the fucking IWGP World Heavyweight Championship like that and then tell the guy to fucking pick it up and start screaming at him. I'm like, it's the IWG. I guess maybe that's why it didn't translate well over here. Like, do we realize what that title is and what he just did? Like,
I laughed so hard.
Dude, and then Tony Khan was like, he goes, oh, geez. Like, it was perfect.
He worked Tony Khan.
You think that was what was going on there? Tony had no idea that was coming?
No, I don't think so.
It looked pretty fucking legit to me.
Because, Jay White knows what he can get away with.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Tony Khan was walking on eggshells that whole day because he doesn't want to disrespect New Japan. So when that happens, Tony Khan's like, everything I just worked for went out the window. Oh my God.
And meanwhile, Jay's White's like, I got you, motherfucker. Oh, that's awesome.
Don't worry about the people that don't understand Jay White, I don't know what you need to watch to get him.
If you're not understanding him in the pressers, then you're never gonna get. If you don't think that's good, because that's what won me over. So if you don't think that shit is good, then yeah, you're not. And I get it. Like,
I don't get it. I don't get how people don't get Jay White. Anyways,
not at this point. Not at this stage.
Real quick, before we wrap this up,
mm-hmm.
I almost forgot about it until you said his name. I love AEW. I'm very appreciative to Tony Khan and everything he's done. But and let me be clear, I'm all for hugging. I'm not a Bailey fan, but if I think we need to get over this. We're too manly to hug. I'm gonna hug my best. I'm seeing my best friend tomorrow and other good friends of mine. We're all gonna hug. I don't hug them like they're never gonna come back from the store. and don't get me wrong, the two hugs I mean are Tony Khan's hug of Okada and Tony Khan's hug of Cesaro, and mainly the Cesaro one.
Okay.
Because he hugs Cesaro like, Dad, you're coming back from the store, right? You're gonna come back with the milk, right, Dad? Don't leave me, Dad. I love you, Dad. And when he hugged Okada, I think in my head, Okada was just like it was a fan. It was
whose shoulder? Right. Whose shoulder did he put his head on? Was it Okada?
I think so. No, it was Cesaro.
Was that Cesaro? Whoever he did that to, if he had just did that once and he was being funny about it, like, oh, I'm so glad you're here.
He means it.
I would have loved it. I would have thought that was the best Tony Khan moment, and do it in a funny manner where it's like, oh, this kid's, you're just being fucking silly. I get it. No, he really hugged these guys. Uncomfortable. He's the most uncomfortable human being. It's like watching an episode of The Office, but it's real fucking life. Dude, it's like, wow,
dude.
You are a real life fucking Michael Scott. It's unreal.
He is, and I don't like.
He really is.
That's another.
And
but the thing is, it's just the thing too is just it's so precious because he means it, and he really does. I'm not mad at him. I want to say that I'm not mad. I just it's. The other thing too is
he gets so caught in the moment.
He does, and it's so fun because it's such a parallel to Vince, where
right,
Tony Khan is genuinely happy, and
that he
literally means everything he says, because he's so happy that they're there, and he genuinely likes and enjoys and loves that they're on this journey with him. You know what I mean? But like,
you can't be that all the time. There's time and there's place for it. Every fucking presser of all time, you just can't keep doing it.
I'm like, I really just want somebody to just be like, Tony,
you gotta knock it off.
Just not in front of the cameras. Just not in front of the cameras, my guy. That's it. and here's the thing. I want to be clear. I want to say this again. I'm all for hugging.
I have no problem with man hug.
Yeah,
I'm man hug, man love. I'm all for it.
We're not shaming the hug.
No, we're not shaming the hug.
All I'm saying is that he hugged Cesaro like Cesaro was going up for some milk and Tony wasn't sure if he was coming back or not. That's all I'm saying. That's it. And as we saw on Wednesday, Cesaro came back with the milk, so we're fine. But I was just like, in the South, they would say, "Oh, bless his heart," like,
yeah. Oh man,
I could not. I was like, Tony, the cameras are there, man. Come on.
Oh man, kid, that is the perfect cap to this one.
Yep.
Holy shit.
All right. Next
Unbelievable.
week, we're gonna go through Block C and D. We're gonna recap the road to G1 shows.
Okay.
And
check those up.
I think possibly Dom might have some reviews for us. And I will say,
yeah, I can do that.
I'm excited for I'm so excited for the G1. And Dom, I know you're getting excited for it. But
I am, because like I said, I've watched them, and I think like there was one I watched, I wouldn't say live time, but when they were doing like 3 weeks back originally on Access.
The Access.
It was actually the year Omega and the match I was talking about, or that year. So whatever that was, 16, 17. That was the year I kind of found New Japan again, and that was going on. So I'm very excited to sit down and watch a G1 live time, because this is one I actually, Best of Super Juniors, I knew of it and never knew anything of it and watched it. This I've actually watched before, and now knowing how important it is moving forward to Wrestle Kingdom, and with everything that's going on, they're like on top of their game right now. So yeah, let's fucking go.
This is the best time to watch G1. Or sorry, this
best
is
time to watch wrestling.
Wrestling and New Japan. This is when New Japan picks up.
If you're not starting to watch New Japan, start watching it, start following us, start listening, especially the kid right here. But this is the time. Yeah, if there's time to get on board, it's right now.
All right. Have a good week, everyone. We'll see you later.